I just want to do an update on these projects. There's been some changes since Multimatic launched, and just some different changes in some of these projects I just want to make everybody aware of. Just know that in the future I will be launching a Twitter account tied to this channel, and also TikTok, so we can do smaller updates, so when things change everybody can get faster updates and not have to wait for a video. These things move fast, and you have to be aware of what's going on, so just keep that in mind. Know that this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you which ones of these you should jump into, or any of them. Yes, I do make money from referrals, but I'm not telling you you need to use this or whatever. This is just information for you to use. If you decide to jump into one of these, I appreciate you using that link, but I'm not telling you should do any of these or one of them or any of them. So just keep that in mind. I appreciate the support. Yeah, before we get into these, I just want to talk a little bit about this channel, why I'm doing this. So I look around on YouTube, and this isn't a dig on any of the other YouTubers, but all I see is ads when the videos are made. It's obviously they just want their referral money, and the referral money is great, but I'm more about providing information than being entertaining and trying to sell a product here, because none of these are owned by me. I'm not selling any of them. I just want to provide information, because the last thing you need is a salesman telling you what to invest in. I'm more of the leaning towards you should keep all emotion out of investing. Don't hitch your wagon to one thing. I've got stake in all of these, some more than others, because I believe in some more than others, but I'm not telling you should do what I'm doing. And I'm not trying to create ads. I'm not creating fancy thumbnails for these, or I did it on one video, but I'm not going to say, hey, earn this percentage and make wild money. You can make that decision. You can see how all these sites tell you exactly how much you can make, but I'm not doing that. I want you guys to be informed, understand what you're getting into, the good and the bad. And some of these they can turn around in a week or a couple days and just totally bomb. Just know that there's risk there, and know that I'm gonna get something wrong. Something might shoot way up and I'd be wrong, or something might just tank and the balance goes to zero in 2 days. That's just something that can happen. But I just want to provide you all the information I can, for you to make the best decision you can. And whether you use that link or not, that's totally up to you. Yes, I make some off of it, but I just want to be totally transparent with everybody that this is not, I'm not trying to make things fancy on this site. I'm just trying to provide information. So that being said, sorry for my little rant there, but let's get into these projects. And I added something on here called sustainability. I'm probably going to add a few more columns. I kind of started with the risk and profit, risk versus reward. Also, I added sustainability on how long I thought they might last. So the way I'm doing this formula is the profit divided by the risk, times 10, which will give us around 1 to 20 or so, and then I add the sustainability to it. So the higher the score is the better investment, in my view. Of course, like I said, this is financial advice. You can take what you want from it. Let's start with stable 1. Risk, obviously, with V1 kind of crumbling, its balance is getting lower and lower. It's getting closer to zero. And not a lot of people came over. Their balance went from over 2 million, and I think they're struggling to hit 500,000 now. on V2, so that's one thing to watch out for. Profit is kind of in the middle of the road. It's 7% flat. I think it's kind of right in the middle, which, 7% is, well, 7% ROI. It's not 7% of your money you're going to make, because, you have to, at least reach up, get up to your initial investment first. Sustainability. I'm not sure. I think this is kind of middle of the road too. It depends on their new token launch, and if they can get some more credibility after the V1. Basically kind of left people hanging there with the withdrawals issues and everything. So that came up to 11. It's the lowest of them all, mainly because that risk. If that risk was lower, it would come down. Matic Staker risk is still super high. It's getting closer to a 10. The only thing that I would probably put money into right now is that savings that I could withdraw daily to get my ROI, and then after that I might throw some in some of the bigger ones. Just it's more of a gamble at that point. Profit obviously is insanely high with those rates now. It just keeps going up, but it's already considered extremely high. Sustainability, like I said, the only thing I'd put in there is that savings. That's the only thing that's in my view, somewhat safe. But after you get your ROI, you can play with any of the extra funds that come out of that. So because of that risk and that sustainability, it is ranked pretty low. So just be aware of that. Phantom One, risk, I brought the score down slightly. Their balance has been pretty steady. I feel Phantom One is kind of an underrated ROI DApp. It's pretty consistent, and it doesn't have, obviously the profit isn't that high, but it's very consistent and for a great token. Sustainability, I put it at 6. It's kind of debating between 5 and 6, but I kept it at 6. It's it's been steady, so I think it has that going for it. I would like a little bit of a higher balance, but I think like I said, it's underrated at this time. But yeah, it ranks pretty good. If you really want to get into the Phantom Network, that's one you might consider. Matic Heaven, I'm actually going to move the risk up a little bit. Its balance has fallen a little bit. The profit's pretty good. It's got pretty good rates. Sustainability, I put at 3, mainly because that balance is dropping. I don't think the balance ever got over 100K. But yeah, it showed so much promise. Before it launched, before you could actually work with the interface, it looked so good when it had the timer up there. And then actually using the interface was somewhat disappointing. For some reason, like the gas fees there seem to be higher than anywhere else I've used. Anyway, that's kind of where Matic Heaven is. It's got a dropping balance, but I'm hopeful that it'll pick back up. Matic FOMO, I moved the risk, I think, actually down a little bit. I'm actually going to move it down to 4. Mainly its balance is like doing very well. It's over, I think it's over 2 million. Let's look at it here. That's the total staked. You have to look at the contract here. Yeah, it's 2.4 million. So it's coming up behind Matic Staker in balance. So that's one that I was surprised it actually did as well as it did. But it's actually doing very well. I think it's the people that wanted to get in early on Matic Staker could jump over to Matic FOMO because it's got very similar logic to it. So that's one thing to consider. It's still pretty early. The rates aren't crazy high. So with that balance, I moved that sustainability up. It's actually doing very, very well. BNB race over on the Binance Smart Chain risk, I put it down a little bit because that balance just keeps creeping up, and that shows that it's very good. It doesn't just boom up really fast and then just plummet. It's just been consistently going up, which is great because that's one of those where you can withdraw your gains daily, and it seems very secure. I just love that it has that code audit. That was a genius thing for them to do, and to actually go through that audit. Profit is a little better than middle of the road. It's actually pretty decent. And then sustainability, because that balance keeps going up, it's doing very well. Multimatic, this launched today, and I would have put this risk higher as of like 20 minutes ago, but the balance on it just went like it almost doubled in a few hours. So it's gotten a lot of traction. As long as it goes up and kind of sustains some up pressure, that's what I'm looking for in that. Its profit's actually really good. It's a little higher than middle of the line, especially on the 28-day contract. That's pretty high. But that's just something to watch for, because that contract balance is climbing pretty quickly. So that's one thing you should look at. If that balance is going up and it's the first day, that's a very good sign. I don't want to just shill Multimatic, but these things you got to get in early on. Those people that got in early on Matic Staker have already made profits and have taken those out, and probably just put back in what they made, and they've already got their initial investment out of that already because they were in early. And everybody's got that same opportunity with Multimatic right now. I don't want to just shield this, but I'm just like, hey, this is the first day. If you want to get on one early, it's right there. And because of that, it rates pretty high. So yeah, that's kind of where I ended up with the risks on these. Yeah, and I've actually got some more projects coming out that I want to review. There are a few node projects I want to review. Please let me know in the comments if that's something you don't want to hear about. I know that these ROI dApps are kind of what I've been doing on this channel, but I do look into other things, and there's some things that I would love to review, and if you want more information on those, I can do that as well. Anyway, go ahead and leave your comments in the section below. I love hearing how people are making some money off of these. It just really shows that other people can do it as well. Anyway, yeah, we'll just catch you on the next one.